Okay. Hi, Twitter. Hi, Twitch. Yesterday was kind of a shit show. My cat ended up being sick and we had to take him to the vet. So, I'm here today, but my cat is still kind of sick, so I was watching him today. I figured we could do another, if not another short stream, maybe, you know. It was just a little crazy. So, yeah, I ended up putting yesterday's stuff up on YouTube, but there wasn't much story until the end, so, you know, that's a thing. So, hey Bobby, how are you doing today? I'm glad to see you. Thanks for yesterday, by the way. We're doing okay, I think. I hope your day, both yesterday and today, are good. That's all I meant. Oh, man. We were on Dance Cliff stuff. But it's a new day, so part of me wants to start doing the resin and the commission stuff first. Burrow Keeper Danzelif. Wow, this comes with a lot of stuff. Let's start here then. Oh. What's this card we're talking to this
Honorary Knight. Is something the matter?
So I'm looking for a stranger with an eye patch.
A stranger with an eye patch. Let me think. Oh yeah, I remember seeing someone like that. A blonde stranger dressed in unusual garb. He was wandering all over Mondstadt at first, which I found rather suspicious. So I decided to keep an eye on him for a while. I lost him pretty quickly. Still, I didn't think that this was such a huge matter that we needed our outrider to pursue him by air. As long as Master Jean is here, there's nothing to fear from some suspicious, unusual-looking person.
That might be true, but if it were up to Jean, she'd take this way more seriously.
That is true. But on the other hand, knowing that Master Jean may overreact to the situation is all the more reason to not tell her, no? Anyways, oh yeah, he was at Wagner's
let's not
smithy
tell
for a
her.
while before I tried telling him. He might have said something to Wagner. You should go ask him. Maybe he has more news about our stranger.
What? You need something?
Looking for a stranger with an eye patch.
I remember him. He showed up a few days ago asking to buy a bunch of forging materials. Can't say I've heard of any of the materials he mentioned, though. He then had a look at the weapons in my shop before leaving. I've heard that he can be found drinking at the Angel's Share. If the Knights of the Guild want to get hold of him, that's the only place to be.
The Angel's Share? Well, Master Diluc probably has his eye on that stranger too then. Anyway, let's go to the Angel's Share and have a look.
Dandelions? Of course they're flowers. I swear on the
Let's go. I kind of remember this funny looking man because like he looks way weird. I don't remember much about this quest.
What will it be? Grape juice or apple cider?
Another day, another lack of alcoholic options.
Hey, Charles! Have you seen a blonde stranger who wears an eye patch around here by any chance?
That I have. He comes here every night. Just to drink, though. Doesn't order anything else. He even sometimes mixes his own drinks after he orders them. I don't know anything else about him, but from his selections and mixes, I'd say that he's quite the connoisseur.
And what's Master Diluc's opinion?
Why, I just gave it to you. Quite the
Beards
connoisseur.
and Genshins will always be so bad.
Investigating everything as always. Guess that's Diluc for you.
If you're looking for that gentleman, he ordered some new bottle of wine in advance yesterday. So he should be here today, too. There's too many raucous patrons on the first floor, so if you want to wait, best to go to the second.
Alright, to the second floor we go. Okay, is there somewhere specific we need to be waiting? There we go.
Ah, welcome, sir. The wine that you previously ordered is here.
He's really here? Let's go downstairs and have a look.
And now we go downstairs. Upstairs, downstairs. Oh man. So this is my pet peeve I have for all games. It's not just Genshin. And it happens in anime too. Do you see how he's sitting on his cape, cloak, whatever you want to call that? That is one of my biggest pet peeves because no one sits on their cape like that because it would fucking just hoik you. Ah. Hi, I'm an adventurer with the Adventurers Guild. How do you do? I'm honorary knight I'm an honorary knight of Ferverius.
Wow, he's got no intention of paying us any mind, huh?
So I'm a traveler.
A traveler, you say? Why are you traveling?
I'm looking for my lost relative.
Well, that's as good a reason as any. Sit down over there, then.
So, guess we've broken the ice. What a weird guy.
Agreed.
That little one beside you.
You know the rules, and so do I. Paimon is always emergency food.
Not true, and you know it.
It's indeed a good thing to have someone accompany you on your travels. My name's Dainsleif. I suppose you have some business with me?
Well, I was hoping to invite you to adventure with us.
Sure.
Huh?
He was so cold just a moment before. Paimon's got a bad feeling about this.
But I will require advance payment.
Payment, you say?
500 mora, and 3 answered questions. The
That's actually not
500
bad.
is a one-time fee, and we'll settle the questions in a moment.
That's, it?
That's it.
Well, now Paimon's got a really bad feeling. That kind of compensation can't be right.
Well, here's the 500 more.
Thank you. Now, as for my questions, I'd like you to answer them here and now.
Do I need to answer them all correctly?
The answer to a question says nothing about right and wrong, only about differences in attitude. I only wish to know what your choices are. You need only answer.
God, that cape makes me so uncomfortable. It would be pulling so bad right now. Okay, anyway. Well, alright then.
Question 1. The crisis Mondstadt faced was resolved by an alliance between yourself and that Animo Archon who calls himself Venti. Who, in your view, was the key to ending that crisis?
How did you know that Venti is
I know everything that I should.
suspiciously
Well,
chair-shaped cape?
Answer the question.
Yeah, fair enough. It... Also, that's not an eye patch. No, it's not. It's an eye mask, isn't it? Half mask, if anything. The unity of Mondstadt's people gave us the victory.
Is that your answer? I see. Question number 2. Rex Lapis, who has defended Liyue Harbor for millennia on end, used his gnosis to lay down a contract to end all
And
contracts.
how the fuck do you know that,
of
sir?
which the stipulations are still unknown. Who do you think will defend Liyue Harbor in the future, now that they've lost their deity?
Everyone in Liyue Harbor.
So that's your answer? I see. Now for my final question. This world has people who gained visions, and those who did not. Which of the two do you think hold more importance in the eyes of the gods?
Oh, that's a weird one because, like, perhaps none of them do.
So, this is your answer then? I understand. As I thought, you really are similar to her.
What do you mean, her?
I'll take that 500 mora. And now I also understand your views on this world. As we agreed, you may now commission me. That said, I only take commissions related to the Abyss Order. Like you,
Picky,
I am
picky,
currently
picky,
on a
picky.
journey. You intend to find your sibling, while I wish to oppose the Abyss.
Well, I haven't met some Abyss mages in the past.
Ugh. Those creatures that serve the Abyss are the fangs and claws by which the Order spreads chaos in this world. I have come to Mondstadt this time while on the trail of an Abyss Herald.
An Abyss Herald?
An even more twisted abyssal being. One that commands the Abyss mages.
come to think of it, since the Storm Terror incident ended, we haven't...
Oh, that's right! We've just been fighting against the Fatui and Liyue, who are human too! We haven't encountered the non-human Abyss Order at all!
There's some reason behind that, I'm afraid. It's possible that they may have been under orders to avoid your path.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Maybe they're looking for a better time to ambush us or something.
I'll defeat them.
Uh-huh! We're super duper strong!
That manner, it's just like hers. Well then, let's go see for ourselves, shall we? According to the leads I have on hand, the Abyss Order has re-infiltrated the Temple of the Falcon. Let's meet up at the temple. Perhaps your questions about the Abyss will be answered there.
Alrighty. Temple of the Falcon. This one. Gotcha. But yeah, he has real Phantom of the Opera vibes to me.
This abandoned temple does bear some marks of the Abyss, the Falcon of the West. Though it can soar in the wind, it ultimately does naught but hover under the light of the gods. Oh, it's nothing. Let's head inside.
What is he talking about, though? Let's change Noelle out. Let's change Noelle out for the Traveler. Right? Yeah, no. This team is pretty solid. Yeah, okay.
Seems like the Abyss is getting stronger. It's not far now.
Paimon wonders what the Abyss Heralds look like. Do they look something like the Abyss Mages?
Let's head further in first. If we do see that creature, that'll spare me the explanation either way.
No, I was trying to avoid that.
Speed of light. Hey!
That's not really what I... Ooh!
Got lucky that time. Don't blink.
Dodge this!
Nowhere to hide.
Nope. Looked away for 1 second.
Speed of light.
Nope, that's a little short.
Freeze!
Ow! What's happening? What'd you say? Oh.
Frozen in time.
Don't blink! I'll be fine. Speed of light! Good.
Oh. Well, I'm not happy about this, but... Ow.
Cut to the chase. Stronger.
As a good knight should.
I'm just gonna get up. Or just a little harder. Come on. Come on.
Wind, hear me.
No show for you. You get your ass kicked. Gina's a really good healer.
Just a few abyss mages? Seems like that herald might have already left.
Could you tell me more about the Abyss Order?
The abyss. It is chaos, and it is also destruction. It is a morass of inconceivable madness that encroaches upon this world's very foundations. That is why even the Dragon of the East, a servant of a deity, was unable to resist its corrosive powers. And the creatures of the abyss desire nothing less than the overthrow of a world ruled by the Archons.
You seem to know a lot about the Abyss, Dame.
Well, we do have some history. I suppose that's as far as chit-chat goes. We should head to Wolvendom. Judging by the traces I'm following, their next appearance may be within the territory of that old wolf. Perhaps we may find our Abyss Herald there.
Alright, so we're headed to Wolfendom. And also, I'm not sure I understand the difference between an Abyss Mage and Abyss Herald. But okay. I don't know what I was trying to do. fly so far.
Don't blink!
Alrighty, while I'm here, I'm gonna grab this chest because obviously.
That's everything. On to the next.
Guarantee you there was probably an easier way to get here. But I'm dumb, so we're climbing.
Well, we're in Wolfendom now. Think Dean's waiting for us up ahead? We should meet up with him quick, in case the wolves decide they don't like him.
What am I missing? Oh, there he is. Okay.
Lord of Wolvendom, great Wolf King of the North, sharp of fang and keen of claw, and yet dwelling here only.
You know that wolf?
No, nor does it know me. I only know these things because a previous traveling companion of mine once wanted to hear its story. All right, let's go see if that Abyss Herald has stopped by here.
But where do we begin? Are you standing here because of these strange bonfires, Dean?
Indeed. See that? Floating above the flames? It's an abyssal spell. Knowing what I do of the Order's habits, they've probably left similar marks behind elsewhere. Let's have a look nearby.
Alrighty. So, weird ass fires.
Do you think that those monsters by the bonfire are under the Abyss Order's control? Looks kinda scary. Let's beat them up first.
Dodge this! Don't get frostbite.
Don't blink! Speed of light! Incoming! Hey!
I just realized today is also Lore Day. It is Lore Day, yes.
Let's go check out that bonfire.
We're gonna be doing some story and then we will be doing some more archive stuff today. You are correct.
Looks like this bonfire's also got something to do with the Abyss.
I was trying not to fight these guys. And somehow it was on the way out that I got caught.
Looks like the abyss really has been around here. Yikes! Where did these monsters pop out from? Let's clear
Literally
them
had
out,
to burn
and quick!
myself.
Speed of light. Don't blink. Hey! Incoming.
Have you finished searching?
We found lots of sign of the Abyss Order.
I searched around these parts and found some signs myself, but they were left behind by abyss mages, and there was no deeper abyssal power to them. It seems that even an abyss herald would not wish to make trouble with the Wolf King of the North. We should leave as well. If there's anything praiseworthy about that old wolf, it's his territorial nature.
But now we're out of leads. Are we going to have to give up?
No. There is one more place we can go. Let's get a move on then. I'll wait for you at Storm Terror's lair.
I don't know if Danslif looks goofy, or if Danslif looks good. Because, like, he has Phantom of the Opera vibes. Both. Yeah, I don't disagree, Bobby. Most things, if there are two things it can be, are usually both things. So...
I've heard about what happened to you during Mondstadt's crisis. When you came, this place was known as Storm Terror's lair. But I suppose that this place is more lair than Storm Terror at this point. In fact, if my memory serves, this ruin has had largely nothing to do with that dragon for a long time. The first time I laid eyes upon the ruins of Old Mondstadt, the Dragon of the East had yet to fall, much less come to nest in this place.
Huh? But Paimon remembers that Dvalin first got in trouble hundreds of years ago.
Don't think too much about it. Do you remember the light actuators that once sealed this ruin? If the Abyss Order is interested in this location, then they will not neglect those mechanisms. Let's go see what the situation is at those light actuators.
Look! There are lots of monsters gathered over there.
Nowhere to hide.
Dodge this.
By the way, we are basically only swords and a claymore.
Cool it. This moment will be frozen in time.
Speed of light! Don't blink!
No, bad feeling.
Cut to the chase! Speed of light! One step back, two forward.
No, not that one. Another Abyss Mage? Where is it? There it is.
I swear by my sword!
That's not the best place to have that.
Speed of light! Change of plan.
These guys are just as annoying with their projectiles.
What's the hurry? Oh, so sorry. Freeze!
Speed of light!
Dodge this!
Please just die.
Cool it! Dodge this!
Got one down. Slowly but surely.
Incoming! Hey! Yeah! Don't blink! Oh, so in the end, we still couldn't find that Abyss Herald. Bummer.
It is quite a shame.
I wouldn't call not having to gaze upon such a creature a shame exactly. Still, I do believe that you will come across one eventually.
No, you're right. If it's a really powerful monster, it would be best to go around it.
How good it would be if all perils one encounters in their journeys could simply be solved by going around them.
You seem to be familiar with journeys. Speaking from experience, are we?
Once upon a time, yes. I simply have experience from adventuring together with that traveling companion.
You know, Dane, you keep talking about that person this and that person that. Where are they now, anyway?
She no longer travels. I'm afraid that traveling can be too exhausting at times.
Oh, is that how it is? Well, why are you traveling alone then?
I still have some things left unfinished. Once they are done, I too will return home to rest.
Yep, and it's good to have a home to come back to, isn't it? We camp out a lot when we travel. Hey, once you find your sibling, we should find a place to stay too, shouldn't we? Mondstadt's Fisherman's Toast is pretty tasty, but Liyue's one-man restaurant is great too. Either way, we should settle down in a place where there's good food.
Getting a bit ahead of ourselves, I think.
Home. Well, it won't be too late to think about where you stay once your journey reaches its end. While you're still traveling, you should...
I sense something familiar on that cliff.
Huh? What's familiar?
I felt it for a moment the previous time we came down here, too.
A familiar feeling, you say? It could be someone you know well, or perhaps a monster.
It could be the Abyss.
Whichever it is, we should see it for ourselves, and thus see clearly. We can reach the top of that cliff from over there. Let's go.
I mean, let's go.
Dane moves really fast, doesn't he? Let's use that wind current nearby to catch up.
Not bad, as far as treasure is concerned.
Can you still sense that familiar feeling that you spoke of earlier?
It's nearby.
But it doesn't feel like there's anything around here. No monsters, no people, nothing.
Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything strange about this place. It doesn't look any different from the last time I was here.
Last time, you say?
My traveling companion brought me here on our previous journey.
So, Dane, what about you? What's your favorite place?
Me? I no longer remember. I merely followed my traveling companion around on that journey. That's all there was to it. Huh?
Okay.
A ruin guard's footprint. A ruin guard was wandering around here?
No, these are huge.
No peace to be found, even for a single dandelion.
What's gotten into you? You were just spacing out.
I could feel her.
Huh? You mean your sister? But how could that be? You only touched that dandelion for a second.
Yeah, the moment I touched it.
Perhaps that dandelion bears some sort of scent that only you recognize. As for why, has it perhaps experienced something related to you?
You're saying some real confusing stuff. Paimon doesn't get it at all.
Regardless, I have to get to the bottom of this.
Do not rush. Vexation and anxiety are the enemy of rational thought. Your journey has only just begun, has it not? At least you now know that she is still on this world. At this time, the most important thing is the journey to find her itself.
And I will find her.
Yes, and this is something you must keep in mind as the meaning behind your journey. May you find your kin at the end of that journey. Well then, let us part ways here for now.
Huh? You're leaving? Already?
Only for now. Don't worry, we will meet again. After all, I did take 500 mora and those 3 answers you gave me.
Okay. Alright, let's go use up our resin to shortcut our commissions. First, let's check
I'm all for
our
work-life balance, but I think
bosses.
this
Alright, we are... We're also at no more, so we need to go do gold ones. Like, this one right here. this is gonna be bad. Not as bad as it could have been. Have I marked this spot? I should mark it if I haven't. Yay, let's mark it. And then we will do lore after I use up the resin. And shortcut us.
Job.
We're open! Freeze!
Speed of light! Hey!
Off with you!
Incoming!
Dodge this! I wasn't done. You're open. That tingle? That tingle?
Speed of light!
I got careless.
That's not quite right with that.
That tingle? Jad, across.
Incoming! Hey!
Freeze! I messed up. You're open, Ron. That tingle? Raise my hammer. Ron.
Don't blink!
Big try. The wrong test subject.
Speed of light! Good. Don't blink!
You're open. You're open.
Speed of light! Hey!
Cool it.
Yay, more. Also, Boo Bot. I see the chest. We'll come back for it. I and Bobby are very excited to get to Lore Day.
Got lucky that time. Wind, hear me.
Freeze!
Incoming. Nowhere to hide.
Dodge this! Cool it! What's the hurry? What's the hurry? Freeze!
Don't blink.
This moment will be frozen in time.
Oh, he got bitch slapped.
Barely escaped.
I'll catch up, as a dutiful maid would. I must leave no stone unturned. I missed a spot.
You can't circuits. We should be smart about this and go heal real quick. Dancing dinosaurs! It's my favorite freaking emoji I've seen on Twitch so far. And I'm gonna change my party setup.
Leave it to me.
Not so hard. No escape. Speed of light. Cut to the chase. Go as flat.
What's the hurry?
Go, go, Baron Bunny!
Oops.
Speed of light!
We got this, guys. Tell me that didn't say it was up on a cliff. Up on that cliff. No, okay, it's not. Woohoo! I might have cried if it was. No. I mean, I need your material, but also no. Not today. Today is lore day. We are doing as much as we can to shortcut so we can get to lore. No.
You can't run!
With sword comes shadow. Let it rain!
Right there. Let's do quickly! Freeze! Killjoy! We've only just begun. That's all I got. You can't push your luck. Well, this isn't over. I will end this calculation. You're getting on my nerves.
I swear by my sword.
Cool it. This is bad.
Don't blink. Hey!
Dodge this.
We almost got him. We almost got him. Yee. Oh. F me. I should have looked at the counter.
Incoming.
No slacking off!
This will be frozen in time.
Speed of light.
Hurry up! This one's well
To
done!
the chase. No one escapes my sight.
It isn't time for a break yet! This one's well done! No slacking off! This one's well done!
Dodge this.
This one's well done! You need a hurry!
Don't blink.
Not breaking a sweat!
Hey!
My work!
Can I pick you up? Oh, back away. What an ass.
I'll race you there.
This one's well done! You need to hurry up!
Incoming.
You need to hurry up! This one's well done! You need to hurry up!
Don't blink.
This one's well
Speed of
done!
light. With sword comes shadow.
Oh, I completely missed every
Roast and fry!
Hey!
You need to hurry up!
Go and fly!
Roast and fry!
Wind, hear me.
You need to hurry up.
These guys are annoying too.
This one's well done. This one's well done.
What's the hurry?
You need to hurry up.
Don't blink!
This one's well done.
Okay, now to the subspace.
Incoming!
Cool it. This one's well done.
Why is just not lucky?
You need to hurry up. Roast and fry. You need to hurry up. This one's well done.
Don't blink! Cut to the chase!
You need to hurry up.
Speed of light! Hey!
Oh, so sorry.
This one's well done.
Let it rain!
You need to hurry up.
Incoming!
You need to hurry up. Roast and fry. Cook this through.
Let's check our book. We can do our missions. Hip hip hooray.
So, Sucrose, the package you mentioned that you received before, it's not dangerous, is it? You need to be careful when you're opening packages. I once had a friend mail me some research materials, and all the bouncing around in transit caused a reaction. Once I opened it, it let out a stench that could wake the dead.
No, this package didn't contain any hazardous materials.
Sucrose is an alchemist from Mondstadt with an insatiable curiosity towards the natural world, leading to her focus on bioalchemy in her research. Whether it's a special potion that can increase the nectar output of sweet flower, or a special spray that keeps sunsettas fresh, Sucrose is always finding ways to use bioalchemy techniques to add variety and color to this world. Perhaps it's because Sucrose channels most of her energy into her experiments and research that she comes off a bit shy and in social situations. Timaeus, nobody wants to talk with. Oh, no. Genius invocation TCG time, no. Not even a little. I will be leaving and abandoning this quest as soon as possible, and then never touching it. I have Magic the Gathering trauma. I am so
what are you chatting about?
not about
And who might this be?
trading card games.
Oh, hello, you two. This is Sucrose.
I used to love them, and I kind of play Pokemon
Hi, I'm Sucrose,
more. I collect Pokemon.
Albedo's assistant. If you have any alchemy-related queries, you could always ask me. I do my best to help.
You don't have to be so nervous.
Huh? Do I look nervous? My apologies. I don't get out too often. I'm usually in the laboratory where there aren't many others to talk to.
That's okay. You don't have to force yourself. I'm sure that once we get to know each other better, we'll become really good friends.
Hey, aren't you the legendary traveler? The one who repelled Storm Terror?
Legendary's a bit much. I don't even charge for autographs.
I've heard so many stories about you. Always wanted an opportunity to research you up close.
What do you mean, research?
Sorry. Don't mind me. What am I saying?
Well, never mind. So, what were you two talking about just now?
Sucrose received a strange package recently.
A strange package?
Yes. I believe it's from a Sumeru scholar who came here to study in Mondstadt. It's most likely a thank you gift for collaborating on some research together.
Huh? A package from an academia scholar? Oh, then there could be anything inside.
Well, it's a thank you gift.
There wasn't anything dangerous inside, just a bunch of strange cards. I think I've seen Timaeus with some similar looking cards before, so I came to ask him about what they might be.
You've seen me with some cards? Maybe those were the testing cards used for distinguishing reagents.
No, they didn't look like test cards. Here, have a look.
Oh, you meant these? Huh. Sucrose, have you really never seen these before?
No, never. Recently, I've been spending all my time up in the mountains working on cultivating pentatonic sweet flowers. Why? Is this an area of research that has started trending in the alchemical community during my absence?
You could definitely say that it's trending, but not as an area of research. It's a card game that's been getting really popular these days. It's called Genius Invocation TCG.
Genius Invocation TCG!
So this is the game we've been hearing about. Genius what now?
Genius Invocation TCG! Haven't you heard of it before? Apparently, it's a game that was invented by a scholar in the academia. People from all over are playing it now.
That's right. The game's been catching on lately. The Yae publishing house in Inazuma has even published a series of light novels based on the game. The story is really good. It starts with a young guy in Sumeru who finds an ancient casket of tomes in the attic. He opens it and discovers that the soul of an ancient TCG player called the Crocodile King has been captured inside. It turns out that the Crocodile King was King Deshret's viceroy, who battled an opponent named the Ibis King. During the match, the Crocodile King fell prey to his opponent's scheme and was sealed away in the casket of tomes. After being unexpectedly released by the kid, the Crocodile King possesses him and helps him to gradually climb the ranks and become a legendary TCG player.
Yu-Gi-Oh, is that you?
Timaeus.
Huh? What's wrong, Sucrose? If you're interested in how the story plays out, I can lend you the novels.
No. I was just thinking about that time you requested an extension on your progress report deadline, citing personal reasons for the delay.
Well, I did go through a phase recently where I wasn't putting enough focus on my work, but it's under control now. I've committed to not even touch Genius Invocation TCG until I've made enough progress in my research.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh? Why's that?
Well, since it's a gift from a researcher I've collaborated with, I thought that I should at least try to learn the rules. That way, I could say that I at least tried to appreciate his gift.
Oh, right! And since it's a game from Sumeru...
No, this is legally
Playing
different.
it might even make you smarter.
Legally different from what? If you want to play, then just say it. Then you desperately need to play this game. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes. This is legally very different from Yu-Gi-Oh! So different from Yu-Gi-Oh!
until Paimon plays it enough to become smarter than you. Then you'll be sorry! Although, it seems like we can't learn how to play it anytime soon, because Timaeus has given up for a
They
while.
don't even have Kaiba.
Well, research is my priority, you know. But if you'd like to learn the rules of Genius Invocation TCG, then I'd actually suggest you go to the Cat's Tail.
That's Margaret's place.
Yep, that's the place. It's where everyone in the community goes to play when they have time. They gather there, trade cards, and they're very welcoming to new players. Trying to learn the rules can be intimidating at first, but it's a lot of fun once you get the hang of it.
Understood. Traveler? Paimon? Let's go to the Cat's Tail and try asking around. To be honest, hearing Timaeus talking about the game has also piqued my curiosity.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get going!
Okay, what were we doing? I just started walking because it was pretty.
Yeah.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra Abyssosk. Ad Astra Abyssosk. What?
Alrighty. Let's go find somewhere to sit for the lore.
Hi, that's what I'll make tonight.
There you go. It's perfect. Little reading nook. Alrighty. It is time. Dum ba dum ba dum. Let's see. Alright, we might as well just go down the list. This one is called Ballads of the Squire. Volume 1. Down every street in Mondstadt I have strolled, the air filled with the stench of misery and bizarre revelry, and the buzz of revelry. I saw the most arrogant aristocrats, and I saw the most pitiful of the impoverished. At night these streets are a spider's web, some here to feast, others their eternal prey. I hear the jingling in the night and know that it's the chains that fetter the souls of the oppressed. I patrol the streets of Mondstadt at nighttime. where my peers and superiors would once declare, "We are the starlit knights, lift thy heads and bear witness, for we raise our flag in the splendor of the starlight, and we are the true protectors of Mondstadt. But not once have I lifted my head to the stars or gazed at our flag, for I cannot shift my focus from the filthy street corners." Destitute peddlers weep in silence, aging soldiers grimace in pain, and the deathly stillness of the night. A young girl rejected by the aristocracy pleads for Barbados' mercy. The sight of the mournful winds rattle the cathedral gates, carrying with them the grief of the oppressed. They assault splendid pallid walls, each mother's cry, each infant's cry, enough to dent the hardest of shields, enough to shatter the sharpest of swords. The sounds of sorrow send shivers down my spine, but in the palace and in the castle, though the wind blows the same over holy ground, they are but the sighs of ants to the ears of men. Volume 2. One day at the crack of dawn, a dancer whose sword was her song set foot in Mondstadt, and though clad in chains was cuffed in hand and feathered feet, her silence lay a song. It was the song of freedom, a song of a brighter dawn, beyond the walls, a joyful ballad sung without reservation by the people under restrained. That's the sword woman of the Wanderer's Troop. Okay. Where was I? She was the Dawnlight of the Wanderer's Troop. She spelt eternal midnight for the aristocracy. I once asked her, "Why do you come to overthrow our aristocrats? Do you not know that they are the first among us? Wherefore do you place their lives on a pedestal?" came her voice, like a fresh breeze. "If you claim to know the wind as your companion, then did you not once know freedom too?" Her lonesome listener, she told a tale of our rule's better ancestors who held up divine power, a tale of angels, gods, and vile dragons, a tale of deities and peoples of the land. Each myth and legend she turned to song, and the wind carried the song to all the corners of the land. Oop. Oh, crap. In the aristocrat's arena, her sword sung once more, her final masterpiece, but it stopped short of perfection. A nameless knight retrieved her sword from the blood-soaked battlefield and buried it where the gentle winds would meet in communion. The flute was her sword, and it sang a melody with each swing. Okay. Well, that one was fun. This one is called Heart of Clear Springs. Under the cascading moonlight, a tearful boy made his wish at the spring. A fairy from afar, who had taken up residence in the unoccupied spring, listened in silence to his wordless wish. Spring fairies knew nothing of distant memories or deep dreams. They were born of water's essence, faceless descendants of the angels. Thus, when the curious fairy emerged from the water and heard the cry of the boy's heart, she became interested in this life, younger and more frail than her own. The silent fairy reached out her own formless finger, cold as the midnight and drew soft as fortune foregone, and gently caressed the boy's forehead and cheek. Startled by the stranger's touch, the boy lifted his head and met the fairy's gaze. "Can you make my wish come true?" the boy asked. The fairy of the spring was surprised and confused by this presumptuous question, but she could not speak, so she simply nodded her head. Satisfied, the boy left. He did not know that the spring fairy was alone, without any friends or family, and that she had lost a great deal of her wisdom. Only when the spring water flowed from the cracks in the stone into her pool, and when she gazed upon the fractured image of the moon in the rippling water did she slowly regain the ability to think and to mimic fragments of speech. Like a curious child, the fairy observed the world around her in innocence, wonder, and love. She rejoiced with the fox and the squirrel who stole berries, and grieved with at the dark clouds that covered the horizon. And for all that young boy, a feeling complex and immature welled forth within her heart. All alone in this world, she neither had the power or the wisdom to which to grant his wish, but she could share it, and she drew life from sharing his life burdens. As he gazed at the fractured image of the moon carried by the water's ripples, the boy poured his heart out to the spring. From within his words, she learned much of him. From her silence, he strengthened his belief in himself. Dimly the spring fairy understood that there was good in the world beyond the moonlight and fruits, and more darkness than mere clouds. The boy spoke to her of forests and trees, cities and walls, and shared with her his joys, his sorrows, and his fears. As she listened to him, she became enamored at the imperfect world in which she had been born. When the boy grew frustrated at his powerlessness, the spring fairy would gently and quietly wipe away his tears. From then, she grew to understand the world outside the spring a little bit more. Those tears flowed into the water, and the fairy purified them, turning them into sweet nectar that brought him sweet dreams. The boy forgot the pain of his waking hours, and met the silence of the fairy by her spring in his sleep. Every time that happened, the fairy would smile, asleep in the pool drenched in moonlight. A fresh dew nourished the boy's dreams, and the boy's dreams rejuvenated the lonely fairy's soul. In those dreams, the spring fairy told the boy tales of faraway realm of Hydro. She spoke of her sapphire blue homeland. She sang of her homesickness of exile, and sighed for the separation and belonging. In these dreams, the boy became the one who silently listened, and who wept for her troubles, and rejoiced in her happiness. Over time, the spring fairy gained the power of speech from the boy's memories and dreams. Over time, they became friends who shared all. Volume 3. When the wind caressed to blow the moon's fractured reflection in... Okay, sorry. That keeps really messing with me, that moon's fractured. When the wind caressed below, the moon's fractured reflection in the pool was made whole, and the boy heard the fairy's voice for the first time. Fairies are tender, sensitive beings beyond the ken of humans, and the boy was deeply taken by her gentle, electric voice. But fairies being tender and sensitive beyond human ken, though his eyes saw she saw his naked yearning and the promise that was about to leave his lips, and suddenly the fairy was afraid. Mortal lives are strong but fleeting, and the boy must grow and grow old. Once youth and innocence had fled, how would he treat his elemental descendants? In the twilight of his life, would he blame himself for throwing his life away for a childish promise? The fairy was pure and kind, but she did not understand human love, and she had never seen the miracle of humanity, and had merely sat idle through millennia of change, and so she greatly feared parting. What humans see as the miracle of devotion, elemental fairies can only perceive fleeting pleasures, and even the power of the fairies cannot reverse the aging of a loved one. The tender fairy could not bear to see the unavoidable day come, and with a kiss she stopped the boy from uttering the words. But the boy, in his innocence, mistook her rejection as approval of his promise. From that moment, the fairy vowed that she would some day bear to leave him, and the boy vowed that he would remain by her spring forever. Oh goodness. That is a whole... Bobby says, so it is about Roadia? Who's that? That's an interesting name, that's for sure. Okay. By and by, the young man grew up and made new friends. Oh. The Oceanic boss. Oh. Okay. By and by, the young young boy grew up and made new friends and had new experiences. And the spring fairy, as she had in his youth, sang him her quiet, elegant elegies each one, till the day came at last. Oop, fuck. Okay, here we go. Till the day came at last, when she left, and gazed no more upon the boy, and never did the words flow from the trickling sound of the spring. Never again would the fractured moon become whole. The spring fairy suddenly realized, though she had found a place to belong, and though she had experienced fleeting happiness, she was still alone. The boy, no longer a boy, could not perceive her flight, and blamed himself for his own solitude. Perhaps she was merely a childhood fantasy, he would think to himself as he listened to the gargling of the spring. But that cool kiss was real, as was the wind that once played upon her hair. Suddenly he realized, though he had met and parted with countless new friends, and through his adventures and returned more times than he could remember, he was still alone at the end. So, as they had done many years ago, the boy's tears fell into the pure pond, soaking into the fractured moon. But this time the spring fairy did not come as promised. Stubbornly she turned her back, willing to be an object of innocent childhood dream, to be a fleeting guest wandering from a foreign land, but unwilling to allow her near eternal life to break her lover's promise. The legend has it that whenever the rain pours down, the raindrops that fall into the pond mix with the tears of the spring fairy. To his dying day, the boy believed wholeheartedly in his groundless superstition, but sadly the spring fairy who fled from her true feelings could never believe it herself. Aw, that's kind of sad. When you fight her, her name is listed as Redonna of the Loch. Huh. Kind of makes me want to go fight her real quick. A drunkard's tale. Oh, let's real quick expand these. Alright, and I think this one will be our last one before we go and do more stuff. Like maybe fighting the oceanic boss. Okay, hold on. This one's A Drunkard's Tale. In the land where dandelion wine flows like a river, tall tales have a way of spreading far and wide, following closely in the wake of the whiff of wine. Far-fetched fables are always sure to spread when boosted between burps by inebriated bar patrons. For these stories share something in common with the slurred speech and the seasickness-inducing sway that so often accompanies them, in which is that despite being clumsy and awkward, they are highly entertaining. Legend has it that there was once a famous drunkard in Mondstadt. It was said that he could hold his alcohol as well as any hunter from Springvale in the off-season, and yet still he would drink until he was drunk. Every time he drank, he would not budge so much as an inch back from the bar at the tavern, not until a single mora was left in his coin pouch, and not a single drop of wine remained in his glass. One night, this drunkard was doing his best to stumble home after a particularly satisfying session of especially heavy drinking. A combination of his head spinning, blurred vision, and zigzag stride served to navigate him towards a forest populated by wolves. Good. Today, of course, wolfdom is presided by over the great wolf king of the north, and the ominous atmosphere that emanates from the forest inside is sufficient enough to deter most sober-headed visitors from approaching the area. According to the elderly hunters, the Wolf King gathered the spirits of the wolves there to prevent outsiders from trespassing into the territory where they were not welcome. But this was an age long before the Wolf King and the North Wind had descended upon that forest, bringing order and peace to the wolven race. At the time, the forest was a perilous place where wild wolves fought for survival. A fierce blood feud between wolves played out deep inside the dense foliage, concealing from view and unbeknownst to any human. least of all to the drunkard, who had by this point managed to transport his drunken self quite some distance inside the forest. He stumbled forward into the darkness and dodged with that dodged determination that only a drunkard possessed, deterred neither by the tree roots that would trip him up every few steps, nor by the stray branches that would slyly slap him in the face from time to time. Before long, a pair of green eyes began darting through the forest, their gaze fixed on him, tracking his every move. Those eyes belonged to a lone wolf who silently pursued the drunkard from behind, all the while musing to himself, "This is the most particular sight I've ever seen in my life." No one dared set foot in the wolf's forest for 100 years, be they a knight clad top to toe in shining steel armor, or the desperate fugitive dressed in rags. Even the callous nobles refused to exile their slaves there for fear of inciting the wrath of the wild wolves and bringing unwanted trouble to their own territory. And yet this odd fellow dares to stroll in here all by himself. Very strange indeed. The lone wolf pondered this strange phenomenon as it followed the drunkard intruder through the forest, doing the best to ignore the stench of alcohol that was wafting its way. Okay, 1 second, I'm going to take a drink. Alright. It is a well-known fact, Volume 2. It is a well-known fact that wolves have a far keener sense of smell than humans. Another way of putting this is that their nose is much more sensitive. Little wonder then that the stench of alcohol emanating from the wolf's now historically intoxicated prey was quite stifling, and caused tears to well up in its eyes. Ow! Oh, possibly ow. The wolf thought to itself, having been born in the wilderness and grown up in the forest. The wolf had never had any contact with human civilization before this night, and though it had once caught a faint smell of wine wafting across Cedar Lake, it did not know the scent's origin, less still understand the significance of that substance to humankind. Perhaps this fellow is a relative of the skunk, for it seems that he has discovered my presence quite some time ago, and now means to poison me in an effort to secure his escape. The wolf pondered this possibility as it braced itself against the onslaught of alcoholic fumes, picking up its pace and discreetly maneuvering its way into the drunkard's shadow, the perfect vantage point from which to inspect its prey. The wolf is a creature of caution and calculation. The drunkard, meanwhile, is a different sort of creature entirely. And yet, excuse me. And yet, though the wine tends to dizzy the mind and dull the senses, sometimes it affords its consumer the curious capacity to detect subtle changes in the direction of the wind. Perhaps this could explain how a bumbling drunkard, fumbling through the forest, suddenly was able to discover a presence of a wolf that had been stealthily following him the entire time. Or perhaps the alcoholic fumes given off by the drunkard were sufficiently potent enough to diminish the wolf's mental acuity to the point where the wolf became less mindful of the terrain beneath its paws, resulting in a sound of a snapping twig, thus alerting its prey to its predator's presence. "Who's that? Don't suppose you know which way the toilet is, by chance?" The bumbling drunkard rubbed his blurry eyes. "Foul-smelling human," snarled the wolf. "Who are you, and whence proceeds your stench?" The wolf flared its nostril and bore its fangs and growled. Not only was the drunkard unafraid when he heard the wolf's growly voice threat, but even became quite adamant. "My friend," the drunkard replied, "clearly I have offended you somehow. Sorry about that, but anyway, Mondstadt tradition says you're not allowed to be drunk and bored at the same time. So here we are, out in the woods." What? Sorry, Mondstadt tradition says that you're not allowed to be drunk and bored at the same time. So here we are, out in the woods in this glorious moonlit night. How's about I tell you a story? His proposal was promptly punctured by an almighty belch. Oh, goodness. Before this point, the wolf had no intention of listening to the belching buffoon's drunken ramblings. In fact, it was poised to deliver a fatal blow to its prey by lunging for the neck and sinking its fangs and tearing the throat clean out. But the drunkard's belch blasted a further bout of fumes in the wolf's direction, assaulting its nostrils with such a force that it ruined the wolf's appetite entirely. Grudgingly, the wolf agreed. Grr, perhaps I'm not so hungry after all. Let's see what nonsense tale you have to tell. The drunkard stretched out his arms and let out a yawn, disturbing a few dandelions in the process. And with that, the drunkard began to tell his tale. Oh, goodness. Alright, Volume 3. Legend tells of a lone wolf that roamed the barren wasteland far, far away. Once he had been a king of his pack, leading them in a hunt, in battle, and in search for a home. Now the sole remaining legacy of those days was the scars covering his body. He had led the way as they ran across open plains, navigated through abandoned ruins, and passed through the domains of monsters and Seelie. The wasteland was a cruel place. The Wolf King grew older with each passing day, and the other wolves gradually dispersed. As time went by, the wolf pack history faded into distant memory, until finally only the aged Wolf King remained, the sole survivor of its pack. This wasteland is said to be the land beyond the domain of deities, inhabited only by the grotesque ghosts that remains of fallen gods, where the former place of the Seelie now stands empty. So when the solid area of Old Wolf passed by a grey place and heard the sound of music coming from within, it caught its attention. Never before have I heard a sound so pleasing to the ears, whether it be a song of a bird or an insect that stays its pang of hunger in my starving stomach as does this tune. Intrigued, the wolf stepped inside the grey hall and trotted across the overgrown weeds and passed by a broken sarcophagus on which a portrait of the deceased ruler was still clearly visible. Finally he came to the inner room and saw a fair maiden strumming her instrument. Her skin was ashen white, and her head was bowed down. Her slender fingers gently stroked the frail strings of the lute as she played a long-forgotten mournful melody. The wolf sat down in front of the pale young maiden and forgot all about the pain of hunger, thirst, and the loneliness for a short while, as it listened in silence to her song. The chirping of insects on a long-gone autumn night is the choir of exiles singing in mankind's most ancient song as they live out their plight. Stripped of all of the body once held close and the soul held dear, song's memories are all that remain of yesteryear. The last singer, the first Seelie, they play their final tunes in the halls of angels. The tiny Seelie playing in the forest were also drawn to the young maiden's tune, and flocked to her to pay her their respects. "What is that song you play?" the wolf asked, puzzled, for it understood every line, every word, every syllable it spoke, and yet hers was a language that it had never heard before, quite unlike that of any other living being. "A song of the Seelie," replied the pale young maiden in a soft voice. "Long, long ago we wrote this song for the human savages, yet now we sing it to mourn our own fate." Oh, interesting. The wolf began to sing along, although a bit clumsily, to the maiden's tune. The wolf's voice was husky and broken, filled with a lifetime of sorrow. "What are you singing?" asked the maiden of the wolf. "It is our song," replied the wolf. "It sounds ghastly." But the maiden made no attempt to soften her criticism as she continued to caress her lute strings. "But you're welcome to sing along with me all the same." And so a chorus sung by fair young maiden and a wary old wolf filled the chambers of the long abandoned place. It is said that to this day adventurers who pass by this place still hear a strange yet harmonious melody sounding from within. And then? The story ends here? The wolf licked its lips somewhat ruefully and then said, "I suppose that I shall tell you a story now." And with that, the wolf cleared its throat and began to tell its tale. Okay, more water. Also, boo bot. Alright, here we go. Legend has it that the first wine of Mondstadt was brewed in the ages of when the north wind howled. In the age when the king of ice and frost fought for domain, Mondstadt's forebears brewed rudimentary wine from the wild fruits, and even as they shivered in the biting cold, they did so to ease the pain of their frostbitten fingers and to give them courage to face the harsh, unforgiving ice. For at the time the land of Mondstadt was engulfed by ice and snow, and the dandelions had not reared their heads. It is said that the first person in Mondstadt to discover the craft of wine brewing was a grossly negligent guard in the tribe beasts by blizzards on all sides. It was the inevitable job of hardy hunter-gatherers to stock the store pits with food, and it was the guard's task to guard against intruders. The sight of a human intruder was a rare one indeed in that harsh environment, but there were other creatures who could better withstand the cold, and would burrow underground and reach the food stocks. The rules of the tribe were that one person should inspect the storage pits at all time, filling in any mouse holes discovered, or better still, catching them red-handed in the act of pilfering to keep the tribe's food supply at plentiful levels. At the time, the damp, dark caves needed constant care and attention to prevent the food that they had from going bad and rotten. On top of this, the little mischievous creatures that hid away out of sight would sometimes play pranks on the guards. One day, a willy wind spirit noticed that grossly negligent guard was once again being grossly negligent. I know this word and I know how to pronounce it, but when I read it, it goes away. I have to turn my face away from the nope, it's just not happening. So the spirit took form of a fox and crept into the pile of wood apples. There it caused yeast to grow, ripening the apples and causing them to ferment. The grossly negligent guard was ravenous when he returned, and elected to partake in one of those apples. The mellow taste of fermented fruit delighted both his body and his mind. Immediately he took the animal hide and squeezed the juice from the apple, creating wine. The grossly negligent guard who first invented brewing in the age of ice and snow also became Mondstadt's first drunkard. It is said that he is the first person to ever fall into a drunken dream. In his first drunken dream, he drunkenly entered the dreams of a lone wolf. Somewhere in the long lost past, or possibly the far-flung future, he fought fang and claw with the rival wolf pack and battled with humans for food in the midst of a raging snowstorm, and met the first Seelie. The tribe-dwelling human and the pack-dwelling wolf could not bear to live in solitude. This newly brewed wine served to bring man and wolf together in their dreams. But their attitudes towards those dreams were polar apart. The human who knew only wind and snow and yearned for the wasteland where the lone wolf roams freely, but the lone wolf was fearful of the human's desire. It could not understand why this human was so captivated by the dangerous illusions and sought hope from within them. What concerned the wolf even more was that when in a drunken human dream, it could no longer distinguish whether it was wolf or human with a wolven spirit. Furry much. So the wolf swore an oath to never touch humans' poison again, to resist all allure of wine. Wolves are not the children of the wind, and the land of the wine and song is not their home. So the wolves left the human domain and settled off far into the wilderness and deep into the mountain forest, places where the scent of wine could not reach them. What humans call wines, wolves call the abyss. The wolf hauntingly concluded. But as the wolf turned towards the drunken to say this line, it discovered the drunken was now laying fast asleep in a bed of pine in a bed of pine branches. The wolf was most displeased and violently expelled a puff of air from his nostrils before leaving the still pungent pile of sleeping human to his business before going away. Oh, man. That's really funny. I like that. I think this is my favorite one so far. The back and forth between the wolf and the human is truly hilarious. Alrighty, so that is Lore Day. I think I could probably read one more. Yeah, let's read one more. This one doesn't seem too long. The Hermit. The stone forest of Junin Cursed is a mysterious place that engulfed in mist all year round. Myths and legends abound among the herb gatherers, telling of the adepti and evil spirits. Once there was an herb seller named Kwang Yu, who went to Junghurst to investigate the distribution of medical herbs there. Unbeknownst to him, a group of brigands had followed him into the mountains. They waited for the cover of night, and when he let down his guard, they struck. He was knocked unconscious. The brigands grabbed his possessions and bound him from head to foot and left him alone in the valley. Deep in the night, the herb seller finally awoke. He struggled against the ropes that bound him and cried out for help, but the vast mountains did not respond. The only sounds to be heard was in the thick mountain forest, save for the echoes of his own pitiful wails, or the faint cries of birds disturbed by them. Kwang Yu sank deeper in despair and sighed with sorrow. Just when he thought all hope was lost, a deep voice came rumbling through the mountains and cut through the cries of the nonchalant birds and the whistling of the winds. "Arise!" "I am unable to," the herb seller protested amid the flood of tears. His crying frightened off a fox that was prowling in the night. But as he tensed his body once more against the ropes that bound him, he discovered that they had completely loosened. The herb seller stood up, and no sooner had he arisen than the disembodied voice, without pausing to hear the expression of gratitude that would have been customary in such situations, spoke to him once more. "Ascend!" As instructed, Kwang Yu ascended the mountain, following the winding dirt track to the summit as the horizons began to glow in the east. From the summit he saw a twisted, withered pine growing on a cliff. Its branches sprawled outwards, as if trying to escape the air. The gentle creaking of the branches drew his attention to the ropes that hung from them, at the other end which hung the brigands from the night before, bound in the like fashion from head and toe. Then he saw the old man whose voice he had heard. His hair and beard were white as snow, sat atop a curious shaped rock as if it were his throne. The old man took one look at Kwang Yu's disheveled appearance and grinned mischievously before returning his possessions to him intact. Kwang Yu inquired as to the old man's origins, but he replied that he belonged to the mountains, and his homes being wherever he roamed, and his bed being wherever he laid his head. Kwang Yu sought to thank the old man with the manner of courtesies and compensation, but he dismissed all of them. After much deliberation, he took just a single mora to one day give as a wedding gift to Kwang Yu's beloved daughter, in order that he may attend the wedding feast. Out of disaster, seemed to spring forth good fortune. For the following this incident, Kwang Yu's store grew even more popular, and while the word of the wealthy herb seller himself spread far and wide. Some say that after making his fortune, he returned to Junghurst in search of the old man, but found nothing save for a few abandoned tents and empty wine bottles. Some claim to have spotted the old man at Yonggon Shual. Probably didn't pronounce that right. Disguised as a miner and darting around like the wind between the perceptibles. Others insisted he is a fisherman who spends his time saving those who become stranded at sea. The stories are too many to count, and yet no one knows the old man's name. Lamentably, age and ill health have now ushered in the twilight years of Kuang Yu's life, and while his beloved daughter remained unmarried, perhaps the day would still come that the old man from the mountain attended the wedding feast, but the days seemed impossibly far in the future for Kuang Yu. Alright, water, and then more reading. Yeah, we got this. In the land of Liwa, it was not always ruled by Slapdus. Many gods walked the land in the distant epoch. They were known as the Gully Plains. The area known as Gully Plains was once an area lush with great glaze lilies, but it was beset by troubles on every side, forcing its residents of old to flee. While the prosperity of Liyue Harbor would attract many of those who took their place, but even so, many tales of gallantry continued to circulate in these wilds. In the tales of traveling merchants and porters, there was once a mysterious figure that would surface in the dead of night upon the plains. It was a maiden in a long indigo robe, striding along the shadows of the Buishia River. Hey, Draco. The moon wrapping her face with a silver light as the night wind carried her words to the shimmering, sleepless stars. According to guests at the Wangshu Inn, only those who get lost in the firefly lights on summer nights might see her, and only those who can discern the scent of glaze lilies among the dancing lights and sea leaf floating in the dark could find her tracks. Some guessed that she might be a lost illuminated beast, or a soul servant of some long-dead god, gently mourning her master only at night, and some also believed her to simply be a gallant hero, like those who spurred civilization, hiding their real names. No one knows how her story began, but it ended with a tale of a certain hunter. But unlike the stories of those merchants, the hunter encountered her brandishing a sword against several perilous shadows under a merciless moonlight. After an elegant and sharp dance, the maiden was nowhere to be seen, with naught left but a pile of blood and dust. The next day, some inquisitive citizens would discover the corpses of Melitha and land surveyors by the river. After this, no matter how many parties searched the ministries of civil affairs would send, no one saw the riverside maiden ever again. Perhaps that deadly dance was the fruit of some vendetta, or perhaps that woman had herself been some great brigand, or perhaps the matter does not require any rhyme or reason at all. Heroes are heroes, after all, drawing their blades for reasons beyond common comprehension. But as the lights of Liyue Harbor are consumed the desert countryside villages day by day, this legend would slowly disappear. Soon the legends hold that the river bank that maiden had used to roam remained filled with blooming glaze lilies to this day. Alright. Yeah, we like that. That is, that's our lore for today. I really liked those stories. I think the drunkard one was my favorite one. What is this? Bobby Vita says, I'm gonna mispronounce this name. Gazahung? Guzahung? Jahung? I wonder who that is. Is that the Moonlight Lady that we just read about? She is the goddess of dust and protects the early people of Liyue with Zhongli. Ah. I like that. She used to play music by the riverside but died in the Archon War. Oh, that's sad. Well, that was a lot of fates that we just got. We're still at 7. That's good enough. If you look at the weapons on the Chronicle Wish banner, you can find Memory of Dust, a chrysalis weight related to Zhangka. Weapons on the Chronicle banner. Bro. Well, we had 7 wishes. Ha 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 ha. Oops. Well, anyway. Left on if I do that, it'll actually take me out of my stream. It won't show you what's on my screen. Cause Xbox sucks like that. This is something that I will look up on like the wiki or something. Yeah, the cursive overlay. Indeed.
Pie, that's what I'll make tonight.
And I don't want to have stream troubles right now, because I'm already having enough of the troubles. Ooh. So that's for an electric character and a wind character. I wonder who I should put those on. Ta-da!
Come take a look.
Alright,
There will
anyway.
definitely be something that catches your eye.
Not what I wanted. There we go. That's what I wanted. So, we have tons of side quests, it looks like. Holy cow. Still not gonna go to that one. And we have our main quest. Looks like we have 2 main quests actually. The one that we are on is Sea Gaze Sunset, is what we have been doing. So I think we will pick up there. I'm sure Shenhe doesn't mind that we spent like 7 days and just like not being anywhere near her. This was one of those quests that was supposed to take like a day. And in the morning we were supposed to be like, hey, how are you?
Hey! So,
Shenhe.
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you, so I went outside to check and caught sight of my master. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect that my master must have told you everything about me. After all, Master is very talkative.
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had you down as an adeptus this whole time, but it turns out Paimon was wrong.
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. Instead, you treated me as you would a friend. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost, we're just plain old friends.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do, I must say I like the title friend very much indeed.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the progress is going. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns out some of them have given up already, we'll be able to take things a little more slowly. Oh, and another thing. We bought some grilled chicken drumsticks on the way back last night. There was a place just outside. Here's one for you, Shenhe. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Okay, Shenhe.
Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the sky! But it seems to be tied down by something.
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Byron! And hey! People Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the Jade Chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch. Wait, I know you. You're the one who fought against the Fatuian Osile, right? Oh, sure enough, your reputation precedes you. Pleased to meet you. I'm Beto, captain of the Crux.
Beto? Are you here to join the Jade Chamber contest too?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of Sunset Vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of it.
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler. I'm sure you've heard of them before. And this is... sorry, I'm not sure we've met.
Shenhe. I am their... friend.
Good to meet you. Well, from today on, I guess all of us are friends. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed. To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a specimen of the plaustrite required. Fortunately, it was approved for submission, despite being a little on the diminutive side.
Wow. So it looks like the three of us are competitors now.
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. What do you think?
Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this, Miss Yun. The plaustrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't quite so rare, so as long as one of us finds a way to source it, the other 2 can hop on the bandwagon. How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw materials. I'm gonna head back to the ship and ask Suling if he's heard of them. You guys...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
You can trust Master Zhang's smithing skills.
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go! By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yunjin?
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment, so I would like to hear her opinion.
Ooh, what's the opera called? Paimon wants to go see it.
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
No reason to walk when there's a teleport point.
Oh, yes! Yes! They have the audacity to go after anything! The 7 dragons, gods. No ancient artifact that relates can escape their greedy ambitions. Still, this time is different. Who do they think they are, going after the Abyss Order's treasures? Oh, Traveler, it's you.
Huh? Ganyu, what are you doing here with Lan? Do you have a commission you need to post?
Hello. We were just discussing the treasure hoarders.
Yes. We were just saying how even the audacious treasure hoarders should know better than to mess with the Abyss. It's just too evil.
But we recently received intel from the Ministry of Civil Affairs that 2 big-time treasure hoarders in Liyue and Mondstadt are planning some big joint operation.
2 big-time treasure hoarders?
Yes. They're known as Big Sis of the South and Raptor of the North.
Oh, Raptor! Paimon remembers he tried to run away from Amber and Mondstadt. But who is Big Sis of the South?
Is she the boss that the treasure hoarders refer to?
You already know something then. I guess you must have crossed paths with the treasure hoarders many times before. You are correct. She's the head of the treasure hoarders in Liyue. As I understand it, the treasure hoarders all call her boss. Some say that the god of thieves even bestowed a gift upon her for her exploits, making her Big Sis of the gods. But that's probably just a wild rumor.
Anyway, the treasure hoarders discovered some previously unexplored ruins that the Abyss Order has been secretly guarding in the shadows. Despite how dangerous that makes it, all the treasure hoarders can think about is what kinds of treasure could be inside. They have already devised a plan. They will send out a decoy to divert the Abyss Order's forces away from the ruins, then send an expert thief inside to steal the treasure.
To this end, Big Sis and Raptor have reportedly recruited a certain Grand Thief from Fontaine.
Grand Thief? That's quite an impressive sounding title.
Oh, indeed. He is an extraordinary individual. The Grand Thief is highly respected in the treasure hoarders, in the same way that we adventurers look up to great adventurers.
So, like the famous adventurer Alice.
Ah, so you're familiar with the author of the Tevat Travel Guide, then? Correct. The Grand Thief is someone as renowned as her. So, despite being relative big-timers in Liyue and Mondstadt, Big Sis and Raptor had to put in a lot of work to convince a thief of his status to come and personally oversee this operation.
With the major changes in Liyue recently, the Ministry of Civil Affairs and the Millelith already have their hands full. They don't have any time to investigate rumors about treasure hoarder activity. But anything related to the Abyss makes me feel like there is some unknown danger lurking beneath the surface. So I decided to come to the Adventurers Guild to post a commission.
Well, since I'm here, I too understand the dangers of the Abyss.
Leave this commission to us!
Oh, thank you so much.
Good to see this in the hands of a reliable guild member. Well then, good luck. The guild will take care of the details of this commission.
So that was not what we were here for. We got ambushed by another quest.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called a Wonder Core.
Of course I have. Sorry, who's asking?
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some weaponry for my father in the past, for stage use.
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you must be Miss Yoon. Sorry, my brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer all day. Everyone's heard of you, Miss Yoon, even folks who don't make it to the opera all that often. Like myself. So, you're here to ask about Wonder Cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ningguang back when she was building the original Jade Chamber. The types of ore needed to make Wonder Cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time. I don't suppose you've brought any yourselves?
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need 2 kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, that's trickier. It's all but unheard of on the market.
Then where do we start?
I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of magic trick that can pinpoint the location of the stuff. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you run into any locals, ask them a few questions about Subrosium.
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation also takes place on that mountain. I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the Adepti, in fact. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay. We should head straight there.
This isn't such a good quest line. Oh, this is such a good quest line. The Jade Chamber quest line? Yeah. Oh, and of course it's by a thing that we haven't gotten yet. So I'm gonna get to this waypoint and then I'm gonna take a moment break to go to the bathroom and stuff. And then we'll get right back on it. Because I agree, this is such a great quest line. And my cat is sicky, so I don't have work today. Because I have to be looking after him and making sure his symptoms don't get worse so we don't have to go back to the vet. So I have a while to stream and just do fun stuff today. Alright. Give me a moment. I'm gonna pause my stream. I will see you guys in a minute. Hi guys, I'm back. Sorry that took a moment. Let's go!
I came to Mount Tianeng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks, and the gently flowing streams. It's like setting foot in paradise. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. Adepti wander oft where mortals seldom stride. Indeed, this looks like a place that one might expect to be frequented by Adepti.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. Huh. Seems like you have a real connection with this place. What's the story about, though?
It's the story of a girl becoming a hero.
Cool. A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite.
The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. One day, a terrifying monster appeared. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that it broke his spirit and drove him to madness. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me."
What a nasty piece of work! Ugh. Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place!
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. They had no choice but to give in to the monster's demand. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and came forward.
No! Don't do it, little girl!
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword and entered into a fierce struggle with the monster, from which she eventually emerged as the victor. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and she would never again re-enter the mortal world. And so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air. That's how the opera ends.
Look at Shenhe. Remain silent. We're gonna
I really
look at
like
Shenhe.
this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out to be. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. A certain degree of deviation from the truth is always inevitable. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the Divine Damsel.
I think it's a great story. The ideal story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some Star Splinter Iron! Yeah!
That was definitely a story. Okay. Well, her vision is being all sparkly. So I think I'm getting close. Ah! Apparently we could just pick it up. We did not need to climb that. Oh, no more Shenhe. Oh, no, we slowed down. It looks like it's over there, yeah.
There should be enough star splinter iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
I think I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhang said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there?
And there we shall try.
Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that.
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen to know anything about Subrosium.
Is he trying
Is
to
he a
tell us
zombie?
to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Guess we're on our own here. Shenhe, Yunjin, let's have a look around.
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. The rumors were true. So, all these years? I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. But I think you can find some information in the village. And this place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
So now he's not a zombie.
You know this guy, Shenhe?
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe.
Okay, then let's see what we can find in this
safe because
village.
she's a warrior and will fuck anyone up, man. I see shinies.
Huh. What's this?
Oh, man. The doctor said you are gravely ill. Don't worry, I will give everything I have to save you. My heart bleeds whenever I see you getting wearier. Your illness beyond treatment. How I wish I could suffer the pain for you. You said you had no regrets in this life and that you only wish for me to take good care of Shenhe. But if you regret nothing, why the tears? I don't know what I've been doing lately. Though I still breathe, I feel an empty shell. I feel like an empty shell. I've read all of the ancient texts I could get my hands on, looking for ways to save you, but it's utterly futile. I finally found it. It was Meng Zhang. He had kept the book that could have saved you hidden. I took it and followed the instructions to summon a god and offer a sacrifice. The god appeared, and I told him that I was willing to exchange my life for you. He kept silent and only pointed to our daughter, Shenhe. The god said her fate was to bear the curse of calamity and that she was prone to bring harm to those close to her. The god also said that she may have even been the cause of your death. In that case, I thought I should I left her in the cave that the god mentioned. 3 days have passed, still no news. I grow restless from the waiting, seized by an ominous feeling. I'm sorry, my love, forgive me. You too, Shenhe, please forgive me. How stupid I was, how blind. Let me apologize to both of you in person. Maybe this is the true story of the divine damsel.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus, and she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine damsel from the opera was actually the daughter of the loving couple. And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed to the monster by her own father. Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. It wasn't her choice to enter that ghastly situation. She was forced into it. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his beloved opera.
Alright, we're searching for more. Ooh, chest.
You give, you receive.
Yee. More chest. Am I not in the right place? Okay, the circle says in here though. Not down. Oh, there it is. I feel silly. Big bright light. A branch of the family of
So it seems that
exorcists who still...
Shenhe's father thought he was summoning a benevolent deity using a magic incantation. But in fact, he summoned an evil god's remains, which took the form of a monster. His obsessive yearning for his deceased wife led to a terrible tragedy. The villagers moved away in fear, without ever learning the truth. And now, this place is deserted. Still, I do wonder what the connection is between Shenhe and Mingjun.
We've looked everywhere, but still no
I did not
mention
get to
of
read that.
Symposium. Let's have a look over there.
It's a tiny circle. E.
This is it!
Magic engraved on
So
Subrosia
basically,
does not
we
wear off
need to
easily.
go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng at dusk, and we'll find us some Subrosium! Let's go back and tell Shenhe the news!
We happen to know someone else from the clan of exorcists, don't we? Are you talking about that, the guy from the lantern, right? The exorcist kid with the white hair. Chongyun? Chongyun, I think his name was? Yee!
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I never imagined it was you. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up to him. I just let things happen, let it all escalate. Well, we all know how that story ended. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate, like the Adepti. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing at all.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhe, look! This tells us how to find Subrosium. All we gotta do is go to the middle of that lake!
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the facts. So I'd like to change them.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in favor of my father's fiction.
It's okay. I like your version.
But, huh?
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become part of human society. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others, just like the girl in the opera. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in this way.
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be. You just haven't had the opportunity to see it for yourself yet.
Shenhe! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! Let's go! We can't let someone else beat us to it!
No. No. Bygone times like dust passing. Lake, 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 lake. Read the room, Paimon, says Bobby. I know, right? Like they're having a deep discussion and Paimon's like, hey, haha, tee-hee. Like, Paimon. Shush, Paimon. Shut up, I want money. Yeah, no joke. Intense conversation about the past, and Paimon's just like, haha, let's get this stuff done. intense. Yes. They are intense. Is that Zhao just like chilling? Sup, Zhao?
What brings you here? Have they found a solution to the danger in the sea?
What
Ningguang
danger
didn't
in the
tell
sea?
you. Something has happened in Guyan Stone Forest. According to the contract, as an Adeptus, I should not get involved for now. But these things can be unpredictable. I have a contingency plan of my own.
Zhao,
Only a single mountain lies between here and Liyue Harbor. If things get out of control, I will defend this place myself.
He sounds so much like Zuko.
That's everything we need! Let's head back and report in! Paimon's curious if Beto's made any progress.
That's rough, buddy. Yeah, Bobby. For real, though. He really does sound like Zuko. I wonder if they're the same voice actor. I'm not positive, and I don't want to say that for sure, but kinda sounds that way.
Oh, goodness.
So, are they okay?
This is some top quality ore you found. I think I'll get a good end product out of these. Guess now it's my time to shine.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for him to get up to speed.
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business. Don't worry. It won't take me too long.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next, but where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Oh? You got this then?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two about making sigils. When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some Adepti sigils to her. Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. There's so much basic knowledge that I lack. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way, I'm very glad to have met you, and I'll take care of those Adepti sigils.
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you should stay or not. But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship. There'll be a drink waiting for you.
Thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use your facilities to make the sigils.
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work. Maybe I'll learn something.
Master Zhang and Shenhe start making Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils.
The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my master's, I can assure you there will be no quality issues.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets they're ahead of us.
Now get ready for a trick. ... Bobby? Oh. Your emoji has a hat. Yeah, that's funny. I like that. That's really cute. I wish I could figure out how to put chat on my stream. That way people could see in the YouTube and stuff. Because it's like, it's really fun. Some of the stuff that you guys... Your emojis are always funny. I will probably take some time today to try to figure out how to do that.
Ningguang's little secretary! We found all the materials!
Oh, already? All three of you found them together. Okay, I see. The Wondercores and Adepti sigils look good. It seems that we found our winners. I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the Traveler, Yunjin, and Beidou.
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the Plustrite yet!
I can't believe it. So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our three winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady Ningguang is waiting for you.
Huh? Where's Beidou? She was right here!
Captain Beidou has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please come with me for now.
Alright then, guess we'll head on up to the Jade Chamber first. This has been a long time coming. The last time we went up to the Jade Chamber was ages ago.
Bobby Vita says, when Baywin sounded very... That sounded very... There's no war in Bong Sing Se. Gotcha. Meows. I guess we are gonna go talk
Combine
to
the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and
so is
insert
that
them
supposed
into
to
the
be
Jade
Beidou?
Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky.
At least it does if you don't know Beidou and Ningguang, how Beidou and Ningguang act with each other. I mean, for real though, they are very coupley.
Thank you all for your work. Now it is time for me to fulfill my promise.
Yeah!
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking for a venue for your new opera, aren't you?
That's right. Lady
Calm down,
Ningguang,
Paimon.
I would
I
like to
agree.
hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yun's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we stage your first performance right here, in the newly built Jade Chamber? The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens. I can think of no better stage for you than here, Miss Yun.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please allow me to bring all
discreetly
these aboard the
flaunting her
Jade
wealth
Chamber.
with Bobby Vita.
You're
Lol,
quite
right?
welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
Traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come and see my play when the time comes.
You're next. What is your question? I should clarify. I do not know your sister's whereabouts. Please, don't waste your question on this matter.
Wow, you're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well, guess Paimon will ask a question then.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, and instinct for what is a good opportunity. All of these traits are crucial. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer. But that is not to say that it will work for you.
Wow, Paimon hadn't even asked the question yet.
I love her.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look.
Also, you said that that's what your question would be.
You helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and I intend to repay you handsomely for it. So I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here. I will pay you at the highest rate of remuneration.
Oh, great! So next time we run out of Mora, we just need to come to Ningguang? No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd urge you not to squander it.
Flaunting,
yeah,
flaunting,
just
flaunting.
don't waste it. Hold on a second. Paimon can probably think of another one.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue Harbor?
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue Harbor.
Oh, a sense of belonging?
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it, it always requires a reason. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it.
She truly is wise.
In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can find yours soon.
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet a little later than expected.
Come on, Beidou! It's your turn! Do you have a question for Ningguang?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured I may as well get involved with the contest. Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
So, Bobby Vita said one of Ningguang's voice lines that you can unlock states that she supports the Yongjin opera troupe financially because she thinks the arts should survive and be passed on to the next generation. Ningguang also invented a special version of chess called Liyue Millennial. She is on the 32nd.6 version of the rulebook, and no one has been able to beat her. She comes up with new rules frequently, and sometimes on the spot during a match. Is that true? Or are you just pulling my leg?
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millilith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
Beidou? Ningguang? What are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's better that you don't know. When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue Harbor far below. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen in all 7 nations of Teyvat.
The 8th version of the rules was released as a game for the public to buy, as she believes it is the easiest alliteration, but most people buy it for the amazing models of Liyue Harbor and the surrounding geography instead of the actual gameplay. This sounds made up, but like also there's so much detail that maybe it's not.
My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber anew at this time. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity and peace of the human world. And I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence!
This is pretty. Was pretty. Are we gonna have to drop another fucking Jade Chamber on a monster? 'Cause this was hard to make.
The Avenger of the Vortex, Beisht.
Who is that?
Osial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming.
Hello,
Beidou
Bichette.
sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepti.
No. In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our
And
strength
somehow
alone.
she's not a 5-star. This literally kills me.
All hands! Tsunami incoming!
Are you literally gonna try to run from the tsunami? Because that's hilarious.
What's that? Wait! A giant wave!
Yes. Shoot arrows at it. Totally gonna do something. We got our asses kicked. Nice, Shenhe.
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all.
Beidou sending Bichette was stirring
I can bring her
pretty
back.
weird, but she's
The day
a
you
seasoned
learn how to
captain and
use your
has
strength for
slain
the
a
good
giant
of
sea
others
beast on her
is
own.
the day
Ooh.
that you can truly become part of human society.
Beidou is a badass. Shenhe is badass. her killing that beast is how she got her vision. Beto is badass.
What are you doing here?
Oh wait, we get to be Shenhe.
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk!
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared, and she is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
We're out too!
I'll race you there!
Choose meant as a buffer for other cryo units. Before I need this dough, says Bobby. Well, I'm definitely getting needed by these three-headed monster, that's for sure.
Bet you can't keep up with me! I'll race you there!
Barbados, guide us.
She just mad you smashed her mans. Yeah, I did kind of smash her mans with the jade chamber, didn't I?
Unleash! Manifest!
Yay, mystery of the deep.
Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her. If the place collapsed, the consequences would be disastrous. Let's head back. I'm just a little exhausted. Otherwise, fine. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future, you will be afforded generous treatment.
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyun Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Shenhe protected us.
Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard
simulator.
down. If she returns with a vengeance, we must be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong Ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have evidenced some degree of novel thinking. You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is considerable progress compared to the last time. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough. But there will no doubt be further trials to come in the future. Do not suppose that one will not continue observing you hereafter.
Jeez, what a bitch.
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue's safety.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the air of dejection in which you returned. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different experience.
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Good. Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. She is a dear child. In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's childhood that she may be interested to hear about.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this. Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you. One shall be going homeward now.
Please, have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have recovered your energy. We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This banquet must be the most spectacular ever.
Alright. Let us head to the Jade Chamber then. Oh, you know what? First, we should get some healing. Because I'm a smart person who knows how to play this game. I'm just gonna go get that other artifact on the road and then we will go to the Jade Chamber. Money, 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 money! It's like 100 Mora, but it's still Mora. Much appreciated. Standing on this poor man's teapot. Tea shop was what I was trying to say.
Wow! Everyone's already seated! It's Paimon's first time attending a banquet in the Jade Chamber. The food here looks amazing.
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you thoroughly enjoys yourself. Those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages. Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one. I trust you will find the marvelous view from the Jade Chamber to be an equally gratifying indulgence.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I've never missed any of Miss Yun's performances, and I don't intend to start now. I hear she's going to perform The Divine Damsel of Devastation today, the one written by her father. I've been so excited that I've barely slept the last few nights.
Hey, look! Miss Yun is going on stage!
Best cutscene, says Bobby.
冠到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位听。 彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠，孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。
That's pretty.
What did you think? Personally, I thought I sang rather well.
It was beautiful. Paimon wants to learn too.
It was wonderful. Also, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks to you, the Divine Damsel of Devastation is a more nuanced tale than ever. The play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to fit in Liyue Harbor.
Thank you. I think I've found the opportunity I needed to change.
Ms. Yun, here you are. Great to see you. Huh?
He's so drunk.
Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Yeah, that's it, like an adeptus. Wait, you're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The Divine Damsel herself. And look who else we have here, the illustrious traveler. Well, I'll be. This was definitely worth showing up for. Let me pull up a chair.
So drunk.
Right. We'll all have a friendly chat, get better acquainted.
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own choice.
Uh-oh, this feels all too familiar. Shenhe's back to her old self again.
It seems she still has a long way to
what
go.
Are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe. Calm down.
Has no calm. Has absolutely no chill. Oh, now we have 7 again. Oh, the stage is blocking where I like to look, that's why. Well, we completed a huge chunk and we did a bunch of lore. Let's look real quick. That's not what I asked for. And we got another side quest. Alright.
Onwards. We have work to do.
Let's see. The only reason Chi-Chi and Shenhe don't destroy the entire mountain is because the Adepti sealed their full powers. Ah. I guess they're both harbingers of doom. One being a zombie, that is. So, we're gonna put ourselves away at the Washu Inn. After Chi-Chi was revived, she went on a gremlin rampage in the mountains. She had to be sealed in amber for a couple of centuries. Oh goodness. That is intense. Probably also one of the reasons why her joints are so stiff. That's for sure. Oh, just rigor mortis. The joint stiffness is just rigor mortis. Gotcha. I was just making a joke. We got a lot done today. I'm actually pretty proud. think, though, it's time to end stream. As always, these will go up onto YouTube. I really appreciate you, Bobby Vita, for dropping in on the stream. It's always appreciated, the support. And tomorrow we will continue on with, we will be reunited.
I do hope the Knights of Havon.
So thank you so much. I love your freaking emojis. I really wish those would pop up on my stream chat. I'm gonna work on doing that today. But I will see you tomorrow if I don't stream later today. Have a good one, everyone. Bye, Wiz.